Well, hello again. It's still the 11th of July. It's just after 3:30, Andy, isn't it? Oh, it's 20 to 4, Andy. 20 to 4, of course, was the long established time of getting out of school. Yes. And the bell would clang away. Time to depart. Have a great weekend, Annie. Yes, you too. What are you up to? None of your business. Oh well, enjoy it. So I've been to the graveyard and left the flowers, but I thought it's been such a fantastic day. I'm parked up safely in the church car park. The gates were open, so that's fine. I just thought I'd wander along this way. The building ahead is the old Monzie Hall. I've had discotheques in there of all things, and the bands used to play. But I've also been for a church Christmas party in there, which I helped serve food and do the washing up. I was happy to do that. And I think a few of the patrons were absolutely delighted. What a nice gesture from that chap. He's volunteered to muck in, and I didn't mind doing it at all. In fact, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Both my arms almost up to the elbows in soapy hot water, washing pots and some rinsing dishes and everything. It was great fun. The reason I've taken you on to this, they'll call the old Keppoch road here. This is, of course, the Witch's Brae. It was right down on there. And the banks is where the Witch of Monzie actually lived back in the early 18th century, late 17th century, early 18th century. Well, not so much the late 17th. She was what? Kate McNiven. She was burned at the stake in 1715. So. Yeah, I think you're right, Andy. She lived both the way through. So, Witch's Brae down that way. Fantastic summer's day. A lot of this weed stuff is, well, believe it or not, that's a result of them cutting back previously, instead of allowing the wildflowers to take hold. They cut and cut. And the result was that the most determined of weeds, the docks, came through. But I'm not too fussy about that either, because the seeds, I use them, you see. But these are the old properties. If you look in there, isn't that absolutely brilliant? These are very, very old houses, Eddie. These go right back, right back to the early to mid 18th century, probably about the 1760s actually, when I think about it. And they've all had new roofs, of course. But I'll take you up slightly. This is a public right of way actually. It goes all the way up to the Smogland Road. Let's not tell tales, but the landlord does, not the landlord, the landowner tends to remove any signs indicating such. So it is the right of way. And Keppoch up there, and over there's the Shaggy Dell over towards the back. So that's the way over the Shaggy Dell. I come down through from the other side, and it's a very, very steep terrain right round. It's a huge gorge. But not worth going in there now. There's too many deer. There's too much chance of getting Lyme's disease. And just the reason I've taken you up this far is, of course, I wanted to show you the old school. We might get a barking dog if the shepherd's dogs are here. There's a shepherd's cottage in here, you see. But he might be asleep. But his dogs might make a noise if he's around. But this building ahead of us is the old school. It was closed in the 1960s, and a fabulous old building. That's the old school for the Monzie and Keppoch, the village of Keppoch, which is completely destroyed now. It's just up the back. I may as well just go up and show you, You're always being watched in these estates, though, believe it or not. You think you're wandering, but there's always somebody got their eyes on you from somewhere. I found that in just about every estate I've ever been on in Scotland. There's always somebody knows you're there. It's a job, of course. So there we go. There's a wonderful school building, which is now, well, as you can see, it's in a bad state. It's pretty, never used to always be like that. And this was the outdoor toilet for the children. They make their way across the playground in a driving blizzard and get in there for a number 1 or number 2. So as I say, the Keppoch Road will go all the way up and join onto the Smogland Road, the Highland Road. And I just thought I'd go and get my staff out of the car and have a little dawn. I mean, I used to wander every part of this land, every single part of it, as far as you can see. I was out every day for hours and hours. It really was, in all seasons. I absolutely loved it to bits. And this has always been a very hot spot. The temperatures here must, I would say, certainly get into the 90s often. It's baking hot here, Annie. Yes. So the tar eventually runs out and it turns into a stony track. But I'm going to take you up to the nearest gate and I'll show you some of the area where the old village of Keppoch was. So. Okay, so in here, up until the mid-1980s, there were still houses visible, and it was a tenant farmer who made this decision to remove the whole lot so he could get extra grass for his sheep, and same applies over here. So it was a terrible thing for to happen. It lost a valuable piece of Strathearn culture, in all honesty, because it was a whole village that was wiped off the face of the map. And I'll try and do a Google aerial view of it, and you might see the outlines of the houses and stuff. But it was a thriving community here, and hence why the school served both Keppoch and Monzie village. And that's up to Littleton up there, up top there. And you don't want to be going to be up there today, you know, too hot. But that track, as I said, that'll take you up to the Smogland Road. It's a decent walk. So we're up here somewhere, and you can see the outlines of the roads and lots of the properties which were standing here. You might just see them. So that's the village of Keppoch, just north of Monzie village itself. So here we have the 1866 map showing clearly Keppoch and the properties running along the road coming up by Witch's Brae. There's a smithy there, and the school that I've mentioned already, that's where it was situated. You cross the Ibert Burn and then over to the track which goes up to the Smog Glen. This is the Ibert Farm in here, and the Ibert Burn flows into the Shaggy. So that's kind of proof. Doesn't show a lot of properties, but it certainly shows the road that I gave you on the what do we call it, the satellite map of the present day. That this is the 1860s. So hopefully that's of interest to you. So you might just see some of the foundation stones for the old cottages up there, and that's for the land of the Keppoch village, Andy. Thank you. So coming down Witch's Brae here, Andy, the route past the church manse swings around and travels in front of the castle by some distance, and simply it's a right of way all the way to Crieff, and it starts, if you don't know, if anyone knows the Hydro Golf Course at all, there's a footpath down there. That's the entrance. It's a public right of way all the way from Perthshire, but of course they barricaded it up. I shouldn't be telling tales again, but they barricaded it up a number of years ago. I've never approached the council to get that reinstated, but you know, they planted a huge forest, and I don't think anyone nowadays has any knowledge that it is a right of way. Well, I certainly do, and I used to walk it often, very often. And I'll tell you what was I going to say here? It's completely been banished from my mind what I was going to say there. Isn't that very strange, Andy? Always when you forget something halfway through a conversation, generally it's well, in lots of respects it was not entirely truthful what you were going to say, but for me it was, I can tell you. But let me just it's a Witch's Archway. There's writing on it again. Carved up. There's the entrance, and you could walk all the way to Crieff. What was I going to say about that, Andy? This is the old mill in front of me. Well, it says Mill House Bed and Breakfast, and this is the old call it Roman Bridge, it's Caledonian Bridge, and it's absolutely stuffed with ivy now. It's a wonderful sight there. It's a fantastic bridge, it really has. I've walked across it, believe it or not. I don't recommend it now, but I have done it, I promise you, I have. But these properties were all habited by families and stuff, you know. All in the last 20 years. So we're heading up this way. These are these fabulous lime trees where you get the linden fruits for making delicious tea. They're not in bloom yet for some reason. It's mid-July too. But I've also come out here and picked them, but I don't see any. Just a bit early perhaps. It's a fabulous place. This. Hello. I have my reservations too. There's a lot more that this estate could have done with the land and made it much more customer friendly, public friendly, but they don't want anyone around here, in all honesty, at all, apart from some holiday makers and their cottages. I know it's history, but that's the top end of this half-mile stretch of upland running, and I'll tell you what, it was tough going. It's a long way up this one, and you used to really feel this, and this is when you really had to put in the work, not stopping. You just had to grin and bear it. But after that turn, then you got that free fall all the way down to the village, and where the other climb comes up, you was such a rhythm that you'd hardly noticed it, and then it was onto the straight along by Colt Farm and along and down to Gilmerton and out and down with the Highlandman Loan and in by the Brock. It was a 10 miles difficult run. I just pointed the camera here. I was telling somebody about the lady's bed straw. I pointed, there's a yellow plant over there, and then I had to make sure that you completely understood. I says, not that one, that's ragwort. It's poisonous, it's toxic to humans and animals. And one single seed of that stuff produces 135,000 seeds. So farmers particularly would employ people to take ragwort off the land because it's poisonous for horses and cattle and sheep. But well, of course they can't afford to do it anymore, can they? And you're not allowed to cut well, not sure about cutting, you're not allowed to spray the bracken anymore. Even times I've wandered around here in the last 20 years often, this was always sprayed. And I mean, there's arguments for and against spraying, using herbicides and stuff, but at the same time it's pretty unsightly. And this area is well, it's pretty in the winter months, but this time of year it's all bracken everywhere. Happy as Laldy, aren't they? There's the route. That's what I'm saying, it's none of your business. Not talking to you. Exactly. If you achieve something in life, then there's not one person on the planet that can take it away from you. Doesn't matter what it is. So anything you do, I mean, I'm not saying that people should go on an ego trip about every damn thing they do, but I'm just saying that people who have achieved something should be feeling proud of themselves, that at some point in their life that they did something which was beyond the reach of their own possibilities of, well, if it was going to be manageable, something, you can't get the right words at the moment, as the sun. Perhaps they've well, I'll tell you what, here's an example. I think I'm bloody heartbroken for the chap. I saw it today on the news. It's, he turned 18 last week, and he went up Ben Nevis, something he'd always wanted to do, and he got to the top, he came back down, He's on his way home to tell his parents about all the stories. And the poor chap got killed on the Glencoe Road on the A82. The vehicle, he was a passenger and was hit by a bus. And he died after being taken to hospital. And I thought that is the saddest story I've heard in a damn long time. You know, alright, we've got wars and all those sort of things and tragedies every day of the week, but that one particularly got my gut, and I thought, that is so sad. 18-year-old, just turned it by 1 week, a whole life ahead of you, and split second, bus hits car, car hits bus, whatever way it was, I don't know, and he's dead. His poor parents must be absolutely devastated. I mean, you probably texted him or something from the top of Ben Nevis, or even took a selfie or something and said, "Look, Mum, I'm on Ben Nevis. I'm on the top. I've achieved it." This is what I said to you. I think I was parked up here way back in April, and I said to you that never be too much of a rush to fill in the jigsaw pieces of your life. So never be settled with what you've got, there's always more. But never be too much of a rush. But what I mean by achievements, Andy. The buzzers come to say hello. Every week I run this route, winter after winter, on my own, 10 miles, against the clock. And in all weathers, and every single Saturday that was an achievement for me, completing the whole damn thing. I don't know, I saw somebody recently and I was talking to them and she said, "Andy, all I ever remember you when we were at school was about your running. And everyone used to be doing things and you would all, so I'm going running." I said, "Do you remember that?" She said, "Oh yeah, I could forget." But I wonder how many people actually saw me on this route, because I mean, it's such a deathly quiet road, and there was hardly a vehicle past me when I used to do it, and yeah. So, your achievements in life are measurable, Andy. It's a message to everyone, isn't it? Get out and achieve something in life. But don't be too hasty to do everything. Not everything. So from the Kelty Brig, you start climbing, and all the way up here, and as I said, it's about 3/4 of a mile in total that you're on the climb. I don't know why I'm telling you all this stuff. It just slips into your mind when you're wandering. Look at this lot over here in the shade. You're a shady lot, yous. Yes, you're a shady lot.